The Rattled Rooster isn't my favourite cartoon, but it's not too bad. There's nothing specifically wrong with it. This is a Warner Brothers cartoon from 1948, directed by Arthur Davis and written by Hubie Carp and Dave Monahan, with voices provided by Mel Blanc. And this is about a rooster who wants to get the worms, and he gets up early to try and capture the worms, but the other roosters always seem to get there first. And there's this one worm that the other roosters aren't able to get because it's a crafty little worm who it has a lot of tricks up its sleeve, if worms have sleeves, which actually this one does. And the rooster character does everything he can to try and capture this worm, but this worm gives as good as it gets, and it's interesting enough. There's nothing about it that I thought was amazing, but it's a relatively fun concept. I really like the design of the worm. I think he looks very cute. He's got a very cheeky little face. He has some pretty interesting tricks actually. If I said name 4 things you think he'd do, I'd be willing to bet that that would be a pretty difficult thing to do. It's certainly a very creative cartoon, very well animated. The pacing is really great, and the characters are very likable. So, as I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad cartoon. I just didn't love it. I think it's lacking that spark, that special something that makes it memorable. The design of the worm almost falls into that category, but just not quite. Although I have to say, I love the colour of the worm. I think the worm's colour looks awesome. And what happens with, well, the worm, the tricks don't always go to plan for the worm. I'll say no more than that. But it was a lot of fun. It was. I just didn't finish it with that feeling of that was a great cartoon. I've just smiled more than I ever have done in those 7 minutes, which sounds far fetched, but there are a lot of Warner Brothers cartoons that I watch and then finish and think, I really want to watch that again. It just wasn't one of them. It's not my favourite, but yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Maybe I'll give it another go at some point and see if my opinion changes. And that, as I said, it ticks all of the right boxes, but it's missing the spark. It's got everything except that little, that little shimmer of magic that a lot of Warner Brother cartoons have. It's not bad. I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it, but when I watch it again, I don't know.